Welcome to this State of the School vodcast. We found with some experimentation that the presentations are more legible and the audio is better in this format. I'd like to remind you that there's a PDF version of this presentation available as well, and much of the information that I'll refer to in the state of this presentation is also available on the school's website. So thank you for joining me. The first idea I'd like us to consider is that the Colorado Spring School is a member-supported institution. And we are who we are, and we've done what we've been able to do as a result of the support of generations of families and students. Students become alums, and we're very proud of that, and it's a big factor that makes us who we are. So that being said, I'd like to talk about, sort of hypothetically, what would make a school worth supporting. And in my opinion, a school that is worth supporting would be student-centered. It would be a measurably excellent leader in learning, and that would be true of its teachers. They would be of a very high quality and devoted to their craft, and it would be true of the programs of that school. These would be programs that would be innovative and committed to putting kids at the center. The fine and performing arts should be showcased at this school that is worth supporting, as science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. A social and emotional learning program coupled with a leadership program to get kids to think about the non-cognitive skills that can help them excel in life: grit, tenacity, optimism. And of course, athletics. Many of us know athletics are some of the building blocks of confidence and leadership. And of course, it's quite easy to see where I'm going here. We believe that the Colorado Spring School is that school that's worth supporting and demonstrably, measurably excellent in these factors. Our school's transformational. It has been for 54 years and works with kids in 15 different grade levels if we go into pre-K 1 and 2. We feature hands-on education, highly engaged students. The teamwork that we teach comes in many forms. We have masterful teachers, real-world learning. This is a unit called Bubbleology, by the way. We have championship programs, as you can see by our 2A state champion Matchwits contenders. And we're committed to teaching science, technology, engineering, mathematics in new and interesting ways at all grade levels. It's our environment, as John Dewey said, our environment in its totality that really makes us who we are and allows us to do what we do. And I mean that much more than just the physical space of the campus. I mean the environments that are created in our classrooms and between our teachers and students. So let's look into that a little bit. Because we're an independent school, we can do a wide variety of things that district and charter schools can't do. And because we're a progressive independent school and one that is committed to examining its own programs, we're not bound by status quo. So our opportunities to do things with students that are exemplary are really unparalleled. To draw you to a couple things here, our metrics of success I'll go over relatively quickly, but of course realize you can pause at any moment in the course of this presentation. And our resource allocation are 2 points I'm going to hit quite thoroughly. As I said before, our community supports this school with their time, talent, and treasure, and they do it in everything from deposits, tuition, advocacy in the community, referrals, retention. They do it with their volunteer hours, on fall adventures, on Colorado expeditions, for carnival, to support our drama programs, to support dessert theater, PAT, Parent Advisory Team membership, Parent Association membership. All parents at the Colorado Spring School are members of the PA and the Parents Association Board. Gala participation, obviously, we've moved our gala to April 16th this year, and we're very proud about our theme, which will celebrate the successes of a great year. Garage sale participation. Last spring, we had a tremendous outcome of the garage sale due to the hard work of many members of our PA and PAB. As you know, our most important fundraising priority over the course of the year is the annual fund participation of alumni, current parents, past parents, grandparents, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go on. Our philosophy, we're very proud of. It's steeped in tradition, and it helps us do what we do. But we believe, as John Dewey spoke of almost 100 years ago, that schools and the real world shouldn't be separated, and that students are unique, and students should have that uniqueness honored as opposed to drilled out of them. A great quote by Yeats that says, "Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire," reminds us that our desire is to connect students' passion to the tools that can help them lead a fulfilled life. And in my position as head of school, I am privileged to speak to alums frequently who can connect their life's work to something that they first became aware of at the Colorado Springs School. I think excellent schools need to continuously ask themselves two questions. How do they know they're good, and how are they getting better? And those two questions are really going to be the focus of the rest of my presentation. We have a wide variety of ways to know that we're good. First of all, our students are highly engaged. We measure their participation in programs. We observe them in our classes, and we know that they're invested in learning on a daily basis. That highly engaged student typically scores very well on standardized tests, though we don't have to teach to the test and skill and drill as some schools do. We have two ways of looking at real-world skills at the Colorado Springs School, one of which is the College and Work Readiness Assessment, or the CWRA+, which links students' writing and quantitative analytical skills to real-world problems and gives them a score compared to national norms. We have that data available on our website under the Measures of School Effectiveness tab in About Us. Also, we're very proud of our digital portfolios, which are a school-wide initiative to have kids write about the work of which they are most proud. Those are two very 21st century ways we know that our kids are doing great work. Coupled with the fact that we have some of the most innovative and creative programs, we feel that we're a local, regional, if not national leader in these regards. Standardized test scores show that compared to Colorado and national averages, our students are quite well prepared for college coursework. It's true on the ACT and it's true on the SAT, as you can see. The Advanced Placement Programs, that's what AP stands for in this tab. Here we see our students, the percent who took an AP exam and scored 3 or better compared CSS compared to Colorado and global averages. At the bottom of this graph, you can see the particular subcategories of advanced placement score and our students' scores on them relative. With a little bit of research, if you're interested, you can find out the exact wording of a 3, 4, and 5, all of which are considered passing an advanced placement test. 4 is likely highly qualified. 5 is absolutely certain a qualified candidate. College acceptance and matriculation is also something we watch very carefully, as every school does, and you can see on the left-hand tab where our students are getting accepted. We track that on a very careful basis, and you can also see on the right hand the amount of merit money that our kids are earning. And last year we can look at the class of 2015 as being particularly successful. Now, those are ways to discuss how we know we're good. What I'd like to talk about now is how we're trying to get better, because we know that any excellent institution remains that way by high standards. So, as I already mentioned, the digital portfolio in the upper school this year, we began a new tradition of a mission-centered seminar, which involved every student in the upper school taking a 4-day seminar on 4 core values related to our mission statement. We also debuted a new program school-wide this fall called the Ruler Program, developed at Yale, which emphasizes social and emotional literacy. The upper school began its first foray into a BYOD program this fall, which was a program several years in the making that had investigated multiple ways of enhancing technology education at the Colorado Springs School. The children's school this fall begins a new program called Every Child a Writer, which is a standards-based system of measuring written expression from students in kindergarten to 5th grade. The great wonder of this program is it allows us to keep our highly place-centered and innovative thematic curriculum in children's school and be sure that our children are progressing in the complexity and length of their written expression. On the athletic front, we've been proud to introduce 2 new programs from last year to this year. Boys volleyball played their inaugural season last spring, and we're hoping to add members to that team. And this fall, a new middle school, upper school club/team debuted, and we have strong interest in that program. The fine and performing arts remain incredible points of pride for the Colorado Springs School and the Louisa Performing Arts Center. And you can see on the screen a bulleted list of enhancements in the fine and performing arts program from reflecting changes from 2014 to 2015 to 2015 2016. So all these are changes and enhancements in the program that occurred from last year to this year. Similarly, you can see a list of new courses that have been developed in the upper school from 2014, 2015 to this year, 15-16. So we're very proud of our public speaking class returning to the college overview class for 10th graders. We're very proud to introduce a design thinking class for the first time ever at the Colorado Springs School, and we feel this is something that honors our heritage as a progressive school. Academics is not the only way that we're getting better at the Colorado Springs School, and I'm a head of school who has taken a great interest in matters of school strength and school outreach. And what I'd like to share with you is something that many of you probably know quite well, but it's the 4 P's of marketing adapted for an independent school and specifically adapted to our strategy at CSS. So the first P is product, second is price, third is promotion, and the 4th is place. We're looking very intentionally at all of these ways to tell our story and to have others in the community become more aware of our transformative environment. All this adds together to make our marketing mix and is delivered to our target market. Now, our status as an independent school helps us a great deal. As I mentioned in my opening talk on the first slide, we're agile and we're ambitious, and we don't have the same pinch points or the same rules as district schools or charter schools. This allows us to broaden our definition of education into many areas that other schools simply can't reach. Some of our differences are created by small classrooms, so we can see the things that we're able to do at the Colorado Springs School. A perfect example of that would be the way we begin world languages in children's school at a very young age and allow students to typically accelerate in Spanish and choose French with a solid base in a Romance language if they so choose in 6th grade. These are points of pride for us because there's things that are very difficult to do under other circumstances. We're able to do this by being very clear and very careful about our budgets. We have a low cost of running a school, as demonstrated in this next slide, where you can see our organizational chart, and the talent of our team is reflected in the fact that each one of our team members is responsible for a wide variety of administrative tasks, and the strength of our team allows us to run the school with very low overhead. The annual fund is really essential to creating and delivering our student programs. So the annual fund is our most important fundraising priority over the course of the year. CSS, like almost every other independent school in the nation, chooses to run an annual fund for a wide variety of reasons. One of which is it allows us to spread the current operating cost of running a school out to a larger constituent base than simply our current parents. So alums, past parents, grandparents, and others support the Colorado Springs School's annual budget, essentially delivering a program to our students that wouldn't be possible even at the full cost of tuition. A very inspirational fact that I like to emphasize here is you can see that we have 100% faculty giving, and the average faculty gift is $272. So every time I mention this fact, I find it has the ability to inspire folks to consider a gift to the Colorado Springs School. At the bottom of the slide, again, you can see that our shift of gala to the spring allows us to open up a little bit more space to focus our efforts on annual fund in the fall, and allows us to change the theme of gala to something that really is intentional and aligned with our program, and that's celebrating the year. So at the end of the year, April 16th, we'll all have the ability to look back and reflect on some of the amazing accomplishments our students have been able to achieve. This next slide shows a little bit of the scale of our fundraising efforts and a look at our budget. You can see tuition is the largest box on the top, accounts for salaries and benefits on the left. Our annual fund allows us to go into professional development, to augment classroom supplies, to look at technology. It allows us to supplement the arts and athletics. It's a tremendous value added as we're able to design these types of student programs at these price points. The bottom right hand corner, you can see Parents Association funds, which I can delineate in a moment, and the Parents Association board helps to raise funds in a wide variety of ways, which I'll show you in some detail, to enhance teacher appreciation activities, to host the ice cream social, and even to fulfill the specific request of the school at the end of the fiscal year. So we're very grateful for the Parents Association and the Parents Association board for the fundraising that they do, and also for the friend raising that they do. They're tremendously important for some of our most important events, including Carnival. Again, looking at the relative size of some of these budgets, we can see that tuition at the Colorado Springs School approaches $4 million, and while our annual fund targets hinge around $260,000, $270,000. So the relative scale of the budgets is very apparent in this slide. The Parents Association, as I mentioned, is able to generate revenue in the following ways, shown on the screen, and as I mentioned a moment ago, use those funds to support our program, give back to our teachers, and even help us fulfill some of our budgetary requests over the year. All of these factors, a highly aligned school with a lofty mission and a wonderful group of parents, students, past parents, and alums supporting it, makes the school a unique place and allows us to do what we do. So I'd like to close with some more images that capture us well and a few statements of impact. This is a look into the garage sale right before the customers come in, and you can see that this is a tremendous friend and fundraising activity, and it's very impressive what our parents do. Our students benefit from an engaged environment, great team sports, top-notch performing arts. This is one of my favorite shots of the whole year. These are our 8th graders on walkabout sending a picture on Mother's Day. Well done. Our rigorous curriculum, paired with project-based learning at all levels, makes the CSS difference. So I'll give you some data points here. 26 members of the class of 2015 earned $4 million of merit funds. 80% of our students participated in CSS athletics from 4th to 12th grade. Each year, not even counting mission-centered seminars, we offer 24 robustly designed experiential learning opportunities from Colorado expeditions, middle school seminars, and experience-centered seminars in upper school. 85% of our students participate in band, choir, drama, or the arts. 15% of upper school students are international students studying here in the United States and Colorado Springs. And historically, we've represented 12 different countries. Our faculty have an average of 10 years of experience at CSS, making them one of the most experienced and strong faculties in the region, if not the nation. All these things combined together make the Colorado Springs School a school worth supporting. Thank you for all you do. As always, I'd love to hear from you and answer any questions or hear any comments that you may have. Thank you so much for your time.